Hello friends, welcome to Wow IAS. Welcome to the discussion on daily MCQ. Today is 19th of September 2021 and now we are going to discuss 5 current affair based MCQs and these current affairs belong to 18th. Okay, so as yesterday video was not uploaded, we are uploading this video today. Now let's discuss the question that was asked on 17th, and the question was, who among the following presided over the first Buddhist council? And as you know, Buddhism is very much important from the prelims perspective, so we have asked this question. So options are A. Mahakasyapa, B. Ajatasattu, C. Sabbakami, and D. Moggaliputra Tissa. And yesterday it was Pankaj Verma who gave the correct answer, and the correct answer is A. Mahakasyapa. So the first Buddhist council, if you see, the first Buddhist council was actually took place in 483 BC at Rajagriha. Okay, and this first Buddhist council was presided over by Mahakasyapa and it was patronized by Ajatasattu. Okay, this you need to remember, Ajatasattu. And in this first Buddhist council, Ananda, who is a disciple of Lord Buddha, recited the Sutta Pitaka, which is a code of conduct, or you can say it consists of all the morals principles of the Buddhist monks, and Upali recited the Vinay Pitaka, which consists of the code of conduct for the Sanghas. Okay, and the second Buddhist council, if you see, this is the first Buddhist council, and the second Buddhist council, it took place in 383 in Vaishali, 383 BC in Vaishali, and the second Buddhist council, it was presided by Sabbakami and it was patronized by Kala Ashok. Okay, so you have to remember this. And after that, the third Buddhist council, if you see, this third Buddhist council was held in 250 BC at Patliputra. Third Buddhist council was held in 250 BC in Patliputra, and this was presided over by Moggaliputra Tissa. Okay, and this was presided over by Moggaliputra Tissa, who is the prince of Ceylon, and this was patronized by Ashoka the Great of the Mauryan Empire. And in this, Tissa composed the Abhidhamma Pitaka that dealt with the Buddhist philosophy. And after that, you have the fourth Buddhist council, which was held in the 1st century AD at Srinagar. It was presided by the Vasmitra and Ashwagosha. It was actually presided by Vasmitra and Ashwagosha combinedly and patronized by Kanishka. Right? So these are the information that we need to remember from the prelims point of view. Now let's move on. Guys, as you know, daily we upload these MCQs based on the current affairs, and you can download these MCQs at free of cost from our Telegram channel. Okay, so do make the best use of this initiative. Now let's look at the first question. The first question is, consider the following statements with respect to the CSTO, the Collective Security Treaty Organization. First one, CSTO is an intergovernmental military alliance led by India. Second one, in the CSTO, aggression against one signatory is perceived as the aggression against all. So the second statement is right, but the first statement is not right. It is not an intergovernmental alliance led by India. So B2 only is the correct answer. Now we will see what is the CSTO and why it was in use. So this Collective Security Treaty Organization is planning to hold the largest military drills in Tajikistan next month amid what is described as a deteriorating situation in neighboring Afghanistan. So this CSTO, if you see, it's an intergovernmental military alliance that came effect into 2002, and its origin can be traced back to the CST, the Collective Security Treaty of 1992, which is also known as Tashkent Treaty, and you can say it is led by Russia. Okay, it's a NATO of Russia, you can say. The headquarters is located in the capital of Russia, Moscow, and the objective of this CSTO, if you see, it is mainly to strengthen the peace, international and regional security, including cyber security and stability, the protection on a collective basis of independence, territorial integrity and sovereignty of the member states. Currently, the CSTO members are Armenia, Belarus, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, the Russian Federation and Tajikistan. Afghanistan and Serbia hold observer status in the CSTO. The CSTO membership means that the member states are barred from joining any other military alliances, limiting, for example, their relationship with NATO, etc. So that means the CSTO members are not allowed to join NATO. And most importantly, the membership presumes certain key security parameters, and the most significant of which is the deterring military aggression by the third countries. And in CSTO, aggression any one signatory is perceived as aggression against all. And once again, we will see who are the members. The members are Armenia, Belarus, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Russia and Tajikistan. So these are the members. Now let's look at the second question. The second question is, consider the following statements with respect to the AUKUS agreement. First one, it is a trilateral security arrangement between Japan, UK and US. Second one, under it, USA and UK will help Japan deploy nuclear powered submarines in the Indian Ocean region. So this statement, if you see, both the statements are wrong. So D, neither 1 nor 2 is the correct answer. Why this is wrong is, the AUKUS, if you see, it is an agreement between US, UK and Australia. If you just know that logic, the first statement become wrong because it is said that it is an alliance between Japan, UK and US, and the second statement also it is given that it will help Japan to, that means US and UK will help Japan to deploy the nuclear powered submarines. So both the statements are wrong. So recently UK, US and Australia have announced a historical security pact in the Asia Pacific, which is seen as an effort to counter China, and it is called as the AUKUS Pact and the AUKUS Alliance. Under this, the Australia will be given nuclear powered submarines by US and UK, and also the development of joint capabilities and technology sharing, fostering deep integration of the regional security, defense related science and technological developments, advancements, industrial bases and supply chains will be integrated. Under this initiative, as I told already, a fleet of nuclear powered submarines will be given to Australia to enhance the capability of Australia's navy. AUKUS, as partnership is being called, will strive over the next 18 months to equip Australia with this nuclear propulsion technology. So Australia will be getting only the nuclear technology, or you can say nuclear powered submarines, but not the nuclear technology in itself, right? Now let's look at the next question. Third question, consider the following statements. First one, mRNA vaccines are fully synthetic and do not require a host for the growth. Second one, they are highly efficacious because of their inherent capability of being translatable into the protein structure inside the cell cytoplasm. We have to choose the correct option. So mRNA vaccines, if you see, they are fully synthetic and they don't require, or you can say they do not require a host for the growth. The first one is right. Second one, if you see, they are also highly efficacious. So C, both 1 and 2 is the correct answer. Recently, scientists attempt to turn edible plant like lettuce into mRNA vaccine factories under the Edible Vaccine Project. The mRNA vaccines trick the body into producing some viral protein itself. They work by using mRNA or messenger RNA, which is the molecule that essentially puts DNA instruction into action. Inside a cell, mRNA is used as template to build a protein. To produce an mRNA vaccine, scientists produce a synthetic version of the mRNA that a virus uses to build its infectious proteins, and the mRNA is delivered into human body whose cells read it as instruction to build the viral protein and therefore create some of the virus molecules by themselves. These proteins are solitary, so they do not assemble to form a virus. The immune system then detects these viral proteins and start to produce a defensive response to them. The mRNA vaccines are considered safe as mRNA is non-infectious, non-integrating in nature, and degraded by standard cellular mechanisms. They are highly efficacious because of their inherent capability of being translatable into protein structure inside the cell cytoplasm. Additionally, mRNA vaccines are fully synthetic and they do not require a host for the growth. Example, eggs or bacteria. Therefore, they can be quickly manufactured inexpensively to ensure their availability and accessibility for mass vaccination on a sustainable basis. Now let's see the fourth question. United in Science 2021 report is released by A. WMO, B. World Bank, C. IUCN and D. Niti Aayog. You have to choose the correct option. So this report, United in Science 2021, it was recently released, and if you see, it actually was released by A. WMO, World Meteorological Organization. So it is WM, if you see, it is a multi-organization high-level compilation. If you see this report, actually, it's a high-level compilation of the latest climate science information, and the report is coordinated by WMO with inputs from UNEP, WHO, Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, Global Carbon Project, World Climate Research Program, and Met Office of UK. Now let's look at the fifth question. In medieval India, the designation Mahatara and Pattakila, were used for A. military officers, B. village headmen, C. specialist in Vedic rituals, and D. chief of craft guilds. You have to choose the correct option, and the correct option is B. village headmen. So in medieval India, these designations Mahatara and Pattakila were used for village headmen. The village headmen are the leader of the community in that village who owned most of the lands. The Mansab means military rank conferred by the Mughal emperor. Okay, that is Mansab. And chief craftsmen were called Pradhama Kulika. So chief craftsmen were called Pradhama Kulika, right? Now let's look at the question of the day, and the question of the day is the Madhyam portal, which was in news recently, is related to A. MSME registration, B. PSB loans, C. single window clearance system, and D. coal auctioning. And do give your answer in the comment box, and tomorrow we will discuss this question, right? So guys, as you know, we have launched Vision Prelims Test Series Summary, Vision Mains Test Series Summary, Vision PT3 History Summary, and Vision Monthly Magazine Summary. With prelims coming near, it is very important for you to revise this prelims test series and the PT 365. So both these summaries are available with us. Do check our Telegram channel for the quality of the work that we have done, because this is very helpful for you for the revision. The time which you take for revision will drastically reduce. Okay, so that's it from my side, guys. I'll see you again tomorrow with 5 more MCQs. Till then, keep studying and stay tuned. Jai Hind.